Well, this is Steve Ridgel, and like a lot of Christian leaders, I spend a lot of time helping people deal with some spiritual anxiety. I mean, our world, the whole COVID and everything shut down, and the economy, and how does that affect your kids? And it spikes back up and it goes down, and you don't have church connection, and then you do, and then you don't. There's just a lot of stress. And of course, our country's a mess. And let me be clear, I don't want to be political, so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you up front. Of course, your political party is right, the opposition is wrong. Your political party is honest and upright and ethical. The ones that you're not for are unethical, dishonest. So let me get all that out of the way. But boy, are we divided. And even politics creeps into our church, and that's so sad that we forget who our real allegiance is to. But having said all that, I want to tell you one of the verses, like a lot of spiritual leaders, I've been using a lot during this, is in Philippians 4. You know the one, don't be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, make your request known to God, and the peace of God that passes all understanding will guard your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus. That's a great verse. It is true. We need to quit being anxious. In everything, we need to petition God. We need to pray to God. We need to beseech God. We need to do those. And when we do that, by the way, the peace of God, and I'd love to talk to you about it, but well, frankly, it passes all understanding. So it sure passes my understanding. But there's one little phrase in there that I've tried to be a lot more intentional about personally, and it's really mattered to me. So I'm going to share it with you. In everything, we're supposed to give that little phrase, give thanks. Don't be anxious, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known to God. But right before that little phrase in the middle of that, with thanksgiving. So I've decided this year, every time in my prayers, I ask God for something, and I've asked Him for a lot. I try to also stop and thank Him for when He has answered a similar prayer before. If I'm praying about finances, I start by thanking Him for the times He's delivered us financially. If I'm praying about a sin struggle, I thank Him for the times He's delivered me from the sin struggle, for His forgiveness, for grace. If I'm praying for health, I thank Him for the times He has healed us physically. And on that goes. Now, maybe it's easier to do that because, well, two things. One is I'm really old, so I've got a lot of life experience and had a lot of things I've needed to ask God for. And I've been a Christian a long time, so I've had a lot of practice at asking God things, but I've also had a lot of practice at seeing God do things. So I want to encourage you, every time you start to say, God, please do, please deliver, please fix, please help, I'm asking you for, every time you do that, in your prayer, take a minute and say, but God, I want to thank you for. And then especially, I've been really tying them together. If it's, as I told you a minute ago, so I thank Him for the kind of things He's done in the area I'm asking. But if you don't know anything He's done in the area you're asking, you're pretty new at this, then thank Him for anything. Thank Him for your health. Thank Him for your job. Thank Him for your forgiveness. Thank Him for your family. There's always something to thank God for. I want to be a lot more thankful. And oddly enough, the more thankful I am, the less anxious I am. The Bible's really got great practical advice. So, I'm going to tell you, don't be anxious. Give it to God, everything to God. Just turn it over to Him with thanksgiving for what He has done, and you will find peace.